Good day, my SS students out there. My name is Okosu Ane Victor. I am your mathematics tutor. Today, I will be taking you the first topic we have in our scheme of work, which is logarithm of numbers less than 1. But we are going to be taking the introductory aspect of it, which has to do with expressing numbers in standard form. And in our subsequent classes, we are going to be taking the logarithm of numbers and making use of our 4-figure table. Now, the subtopic here is standard form. Standard form is in the form of a times 10 raised to power n, where a is a number between 1 and 10, and n is an integer. What is an integer? An integer is a positive or negative whole numbers, including 0. So, standard form is expressed as a times 10 raised to power n, where a is a number between 1 and 10 and n is an integer. So today we are going to learn or to remind ourselves of how to express numbers in standard form with an example. Now, if you look at the number there in that example, we have 454.5. This number is obviously greater than 1. But we are going to express it in the form of a times 10 raised to power n, and a must be a number that is between 1 and 10. The only way we can have this number to be between 1 and 10 is to shift our decimal point from this point here down to this place. So that instead of 454.5, we can have it as 4.545, which is a number between 1 and 10. So, we can write this as 454.5. This one obviously is more than 1, it's even more than a 10. We move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So, 1, 2. This becomes 4.545. Since you move the decimal point 2 places to the left, you are going to express this as base 10 raised to power 2. This one has now been expressed in standard form. By definition, where a is a number between 1 and 10, this is now representing your a times 10, while this one is now representing your n, an integer, a positive whole number. We are going to look at another example that is relatively smaller. If you look at the number there in that example, you see that it's a small number. And that number is far less than 1. But we are looking for a situation where the number can be between 1 and 10. And the only way we can do that is to move the decimal point from this point down to this point so that it can become 2.4. Of course, 2.4 is a number between 1 and 10. So in this case, we have 0.00024. You move the decimal point how many places? You take it easy, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that it can be 2.4. So this time around, you discover that you are moving the decimal point from the left down to the right. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. This becomes 2.4 times 10. Now, the power here has to be negative. Reason is that we are moving the decimal point from the left to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that becomes minus 4, which is also an integer. We can still go on by looking at more examples. Example 3. express 483 in standard form. Now look at 483. It's a number that is far bigger than 1. But in this case, there is no decimal point anywhere. A situation like this where you don't have decimal point, what you need to do is to assume that the decimal point is here. Now we can express this as 483.0. They are the same thing. In this case, how do we now make this to be a number between 1 and 10? 483 can be expressed as 4.83. And the only way that one can happen is when the decimal point is moved from right to left. How many places we have? 1, 2, before the decimal point is placed here. So we have this as 483, can be written as 4.83 times 10 raised to power 2. Because you move the decimal point from the right to the left 2 places. We can still go on by taking more examples. Now, if you look at this, 0.5 is a number that is less than 1. We can equally express this in standard form by having 0.5. The only way this number can be a number between 1 and 10 is for the decimal point to move from left to the right 1 step. And becomes 5 times 10. Since you move it 1 step, it is going to be raised to the power of minus what? 1. So, we see that 0.5 in standard form can be written as 5 times 10 raised to power minus 1. Now, also, it is possible for us to reverse from standard form to ordinary form. Converting numbers from standard form to ordinary form. Let's take an example. Example 1 in this regard. Express now look at that example. You will discover that 1.24 times 10 raised to power 8 is already in standard form. But our interest now is to express this one in standard form, converting it to ordinary form. How do we do that? Watch out. You have 1.24 times 10 raised to power 8 can be written as 1.24 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have expressed this one, 10 raised to power 8, by putting 1 here and expressing 8 zeros. So, for you to move this one by the power of 10, you simply knock off these 2 zeros here because you have 2 digits here before the decimal point. So, expressing your final answer, you have 124. The decimal point is now gone. They will now count how many zeros are there remaining. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you just build in the 6 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is interesting. This one is coming from the fact that you have 2 decimal points, 2 digits in front of the decimal point. That knocks off 2 digits or 2 zeros from here. When these 2 zeros are gone, you add all these other 2 zeros up. Before you know what is happening, you have the numbers in ordinary form. Express 1.26 or 24 times 10 raised to power minus 6 in ordinary form. What you do here is to write this one out as 1.26 times 10 raised to power minus 6 can be written as 1 over 10 raised to power 6. So this simply becomes 1.26 times 1 over, you express this one in terms of 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this case, you are looking at it from the left. You have just one digit, and that will knock off 1 0. And you have how many zeros there remaining? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one simply means after writing 0 points, you have to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros before you express the other numbers 126. With this one has now been expressed in ordinary form. If you want to confirm that, you can now check. Express this one back to standard form. It's simply by moving your decimal point from the left to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which is now a number between 1 and 6. Which is supposed to now be 1.26 if you check, times 10 raised to power minus what? 6. This is the answer here. So for today, we have been able to know the definition of standard form, expressing numbers in standard form, both large numbers and small numbers, with the examples there. Thank you all very much.